directing is a big part of the photography that I do. I work with models that work with Trade for Photo, and basically I just go on Facebook and say, does anybody want to model for this? I created a whole Facebook group called the Jacksonville, North Carolina Photographer Model Meetup Group for school. So I would have models to choose from, and it's a fun thing that people do in this town to just, go online and then be able to take pictures for something fun. If they have a crazy idea, the models post it and the photographers say, yeah, I want to do it. And it's a cool concept on Facebook.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Creativity Worth Expressing. I'm your host, Ryan Anthony Hernandez, and today our guest is a fine art photographer in graduate school at the Academy of Art University of San Francisco online. Please welcome to the podcast, Crystal Kuegel. Crystal, welcome to the podcast. How are you doing today?
Thank you. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, and I'm excited to explore your creative journey when it comes to photography. How does that sound?
It sounds awesome. I can't wait to tell you about it.
All right, so one of the first questions I ask all of my guests is what sparked your love for creativity in the first place?
Well, as humans, we all create. So it's a part of nature. And the medium I use is my camera. And I use other mediums. I paint, I draw, I do other little things, but not as well as I use my camera for the medium that I love, which is fine art photography.
And was there like a picture or was there like something that really made you fall in love, not only with creativity, but specifically with being, holding a camera?
Um, I'm not sure if there was ever a certain picture that I fell in love with. But it was when I was at ECU, my first photography class was in the dark room. So it was an awesome experience to get to learn that before digital photography completely took over all the universities. And I fell in love with it. I fell in love with seeing in the dark and knowing where everything was and the process of what I had to do learning photography. So it was actually amazing.
And as a kid, like, did you ever take up the camera or was that later on in life?
No, it was really later on in life when I went to ECU. I went through graduate. I mean, no, I went through that was my bachelor's. So I went through art school at ECU. It wasn't just like a focus. Like at graduate school, you're focused on photography, but in art school, you're focused on all the arts. So I got to diverge and find out what I was really good at that school at ECU.
Okay, and you mentioned earlier the dark room, is that what you call it?
Yes, in the dark room where you hand make photos.
Okay, so I've never been in a dark room, and for those in the audience who, because like a lot of people in the audience might be painters and aren't that familiar with the dark room and all that cool stuff regarding cameras, can you share a little bit more so we can have a better understanding?
Yeah, in the dark room, you have to develop the 35 millimeter film. So you take the roll of film, it can't be subjected to light. You take it in the dark room and you empty it out. You empty the cartridge. You take it out. Basically, you get it ready to be prepared to take it into the light, or I think what you do is you put it in a canister. It's been a long time since I've been in the dark room, but then eventually you take it to the developer where you actually develop the photo and you see it on the paper, and then you take the paper through these chemicals, and it develops the photo onto the paper, and then you can hang it up to dry and see the finished photo when it's done, and it looks professional. It's really awesome.
Okay, so you did this with your school, right?
Yeah, at ECU, my first school, bachelor's.
Okay, back when, I mean, many years ago, when I was a bit younger and before all these digital cameras, I remember like there'd be like the roll at the on the back of the camera. You take your pictures, and then I remember dropping it off, or I'd ask my parents to drop it off at like it would be, I think sometimes it would be 24 hours or maybe less. But is that the same thing? Is that how they process it there as well?
Kind of, but I think theirs is more mechanicalized rather than doing each one photo by hand in the dark room. Yeah, and then taking it out, and then you have to take the paper, the special paper, you have to put it in all these chemicals. I'm not exactly sure of the process that they do in the 24-hour processing 35 millimeter cameras, but what we learned was kind of like one by one hand developing.
How long would that take?
It took a pretty long time from the time we picked up the camera to the time that it dried on the paper is a few days if you do it like in succession. Yeah.
And was it the same thing? Like would like in your case, at the university, like would you have like a role and then would you be by yourself using chemicals and all that?
Well, we had a dark room in the in at ECU in the art building. So we had a room to develop the photos and other people would be in there like other students. So we weren't completely alone unless you like worked in the middle of the night and there's students in there all the time. So it was fun. But we didn't never do it completely alone. But when we went into the actual dark room where we took the canister out of the actual camera and put it in the other canister to be taken to be developed in the chemicals. Um, that's when we kind of develop it.
Like was it a lot of fun?
It was a lot of fun to learn that. And it was right before digital photography became really big and took over everything.
So while you're okay, so like you're in the dark room, but outside of the dark room, like how did you see yourself evolving as a young photographer at that time?
I don't say I was a photographer until I took that photography class in the dark room. I didn't do
Mhm.
much art before ECU. I actually did, I played flute. So I did a lot of music, but at ECU I changed, I went from psychology to photography to art school to photography. Yeah,
And
psychology to art school to photography.
and what kind of camera did you have? Do you remember? I know this is probably a blast from the past, but can you remember that camera?
My very first camera, I can't remember, but I know my very first professional camera that I really fell in love with was the Canon 50D.
Okay, and what kind of lens did you use?
Um, I had a lot of different lenses. I had a macro lens, I had a 50 millimeter, I had the regular base lens, I had a zoom lens for it. It's not like you use one lens for one thing. You kind of have to switch them up.
And so I know that's like the beginning of your story. But as you were looking towards the future, did you ever see yourself doing photography like for newspapers, for like magazines? Was that ever in your mind?
Not at the time. The When I was starting in photography, the world was in a recession. It was really bad and nobody was getting jobs and I kind of had to come back home and deal with situations and then I got back into photography doing my master's 3 years ago and it's going to take me 3 more years to complete it. I'm right in the middle at my midpoint review now and it's different with the AI and with the digital photography and like I don't know, you can't really take do a digital darkroom class online.
Yeah, yeah, it's not the same experience. But you mentioned some very important things about, digital photography and AI. We're going to get into that. But before we do, I wanted to now talk about your photography. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. So I was checking out I think your website, and there you see there's a number of like albums. I hope I'm saying using the right terminology.
Yeah.
But like a few albums, like you have Up and Away, light painting. You have the master's portfolio, underwater photography, adult edition, and there's plenty more. But my question for you is, when you like, do you have in mind before you start the photography what your next album will be, or is it like all just random motion?
It's not random, especially when you're in graduate school. There's nothing random that we do down to what we put on pen and paper, what we think, what concept we come up with. There's a random way of doing photography, and then there's a way that's not random, and that's, excuse me, that's what they teach us at Academy of Art University, is a very conceptually processed way of thinking.
How important is the lighting, the subject, movement? How important is that for you as a photographer? Like, do you direct it or?
Yes, directing is a big part of the photography that I do. I work with models that work with Trade for Photo, and basically I just go on Facebook and say, does anybody want to model for this? I created a whole Facebook group called the Jacksonville, North Carolina Photographer Model Meetup Group for school. So I would have models to choose from, and it's a fun thing that people do in this town to just go online and then be able to take pictures for something fun. If they have a crazy idea, the models post it and the photographers say, yeah, I want to do it. And it's a cool concept on Facebook.
And how long have you been working with models?
I would say about, well, I worked with models in my bachelor's, but then I stopped doing photography for about 10 years and took a life break and then came back to it. I've been working with models I've dated for about 4 years now.
And as a, because I mean, not you're not only doing the photography, you're also, you know, letting these models know what it is that you want to capture, I imagine. So, for you, like in giving direction, do you like have you grown or like I don't know, like what have you learned as a
Um,
director?
Basically everything, because I direct the lighting, I direct the way the person stands, what the person does. I direct every aspect of the photography by myself. And I always tell my models, bring someone with you so they can hold stuff and, move stuff because I'm all alone. I'm doing this all alone, and it's very difficult, but it works when you have other people that can bring the hands you need.
And do you prefer to do like a photo shoot inside of a studio or indoors, or is it more fun for you to do it outdoors?
Well, both of them are really fun. You can control the lighting more in a studio, and the background is kind of something that you can't just put in there without it looking a little unrealistic. So sometimes I like to shoot and with a real background too. So it's just different, but it's the same funness.
And today, like, are you still using like those like the cameras from back then, or do you use digital cameras?
I use digital cameras right now. I'm using the Canon 90D.
Okay, and like what would be the difference for someone who like for me, a layperson who doesn't really know much? Like what would be the difference from the camera that you started off with to the camera that you're using today?
35 millimeters are on paper, and it's so different than digital. You would have to scan in the negative or the actual picture that they print for you at the store. If they do that anymore, I don't even think they do.
I don't know. And the camera for today, like what's cool about it? It sounds like a cool camera, 90 or something. I mean,
Yeah, the Canon 90D is the last mirrorless camera that Canon has created. And all their other products are going to be a mirrorless version, and hopefully I'm getting one of those soon. So
okay, so you mentioned that you have a Facebook. You started a Facebook. Damn, a Facebook I'm gonna start that from the top. So you mentioned that you started a Facebook group where you put out there that you're looking for someone to model for you, and of course they come in and they respond to your message. But outside of taking photos of models, are there any other subjects that you like to take photos of?
Um, I photograph people a lot. I don't really photograph anything that has no people in it, really. I guess my style really, I'm a people person, so I like to do people. But I've also been making these AI videos that enhance the photos that I created. And they kind of make the videos come to life, or the videos make the photos come to life.
Well, that's a good thing that you mentioned about AI. You know, AI is really just skyrocketing. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Um, And a lot of people have mixed opinions on either the positive side or negative side. But in your case, you're very involved with photography. Can it be helpful?
It can be helpful. Can I show you some videos that I've created out of my photos?
Absolutely.
All right, let's see. Share. And now you have to turn sharing on.
Okay.
All right. So this is my magazine. I just launched it. We had one issue that launched, and the next issue is coming up soon. But this is an example of what AI can do. I I did this with Illustrator, this picture right here, and this one was the AI. And it literally just takes the person's face and just makes a video out of the same photo that you just done. I've done ads for it too. Every artist needs an audience. That was out of a photo I did as well with the AI, making it into a video, and it just looks like the same person. And it's amazing. I don't like the generating photos. I don't really like that too much. I'm in an AI class right now, and generating photos after all the hard work I put into everything I've done, it's not the same as real photography and what we put our heart and soul into. This is from my project, Wonderment Enchanted Light, and the AI video is just amazing.
Mhm.
I
Wow.
know, and people really love this. Like, I photograph for free for school, but people love this AI generated stuff. But I mean, the photos are just awesome too.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
And so that's just one of the photos that you've taken. This is just a photo.
Yes, this is the photo that I took, and this is the AI generation. And I think I have another one on here. This one, I took this photo, and this is the AI generation. You can kind of tell this one is AI generated. It couldn't really make the broom stay, but I like it anyways.
Yeah, and wow, yeah, I'm it's really good. It's
Thank
really
you.
good. Even without the AI, well, I mean, the cool thing with the AI is that it's able to grab the image and add motion to it, but the photograph in and of itself is already fabulous.
Thank you. Yes. And that's why I like to use my own images as the base and create something with AI with that, because these are movies, these are 10-second videos that I can't create this. There's no way I can create this without AI. There's just no way. So to be able to have this ability is just so amazing.
And well, quick question. Let's focus on this image at the moment, and because a lot of these images have this amazing like spirally light background, how did you capture that?
Well, these images, I'm in the background and somebody is pressing the shutter button for me, but I'm moving the lights around for an 8 second exposure.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow,
so
that's
I'm
freaking cool.
actually in the background, and this is a video of what I do. This is me in my living room. But if you go back, you can see it's hard. It's easy to miss because it's like all the rest pictures. But
Mhm.
in the very beginning, it's me holding the light. Let me see. It won't play. Hmm. Hold on. Hmm. Not sure what to do there to get it to play, but hold on. We're gonna have to redo this. I don't know why it won't play now. Here it is again.
Okay, so that's you holding the light.
Yes, that's me holding the light in the very beginning. I'm afraid to even move it now or it won't play.
Oh, so
But
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, like the photographs are amazing, but it's not just a photograph. There's also a lot that's going on in the background, literally and
Yes. That's actually an 8 second exposure where I'm just moving the lights and I'm trying to like struggle to get the lights the way I want them in 8 seconds. It's not that easy, but the LED lights, I put them on a stick and they're just the $8 LED lights with a battery pack and they are really bright to do this. And sometimes I use 4 to 8 seconds. And I find that the other types of like laser sticks and other lights are really dimmer. Even if you buy an actual flashlight that is LED that you can change the colors on, the flashlights that they have for light painting are really dim, so you would need like a 10 to 15 second exposure. And these $8 LED lights, you just paste them on a stick and just move them around and they're so bright and it just lets you do it faster.
what other tricks have you done? Because this is I've never tried that, but I mean that's super cool. Like, are there any other like neat tricks that you can share with us?
This one is done with sparklers attached to a board of LED lights. And this is I didn't video the sparklers unfortunately, but this is the background. I wasn't behind her at the moment, but other people were on this video.
Neat.
And that is how I came up with this. And we added the sparklers on the end and moved the LED lights around, not laser, but the LED lights around. And that's how we achieved these looks.
Amazing.
Thank you.
And
Yeah, I've done a lot of light painting just to get ready for my project Wonderment Enchanted Light. Because at the beginning of the semester, I did these. And those were my practice ones. And then this was what the project turned into. And it was just an amazing experience coming into this project and learning a little more about light painting that I already knew. This one with the star was the one that came about, the first one in the project. And that's my godchild Malachi. And all he did was point, and I was testing the lights. It was a test. And I came up with the whole project inspired from this photo.
it's like a Pixar almost type of. I mean, it's just so perfect.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. Yes. And let's see, where's
Yeah,
the
and I want to leave a quick note for those in the audience who might be listening on Spotify. Maybe you're driving or going for some exercise or whatever it may be. When you get the chance, I highly suggest you switch this episode over to video format because right now, I'm just seeing so many awesome photos, and I hope that you can also, the listener, can check it out as well. So yeah, that was
Oh
just a
yeah.
quick note I wanted to leave. But those who are watching this on YouTube, not a problem.
Gotta love YouTube and the way the world is going today. It makes it so easy to connect and get your story out. I love it. Let's see. And another project I did was the balloon project, and that turned out really good. And I use AI in Photoshop sometimes. We're not supposed to use it a lot, but I do generate things like this spaceship. But I haven't been able to use it much for school at all.
Mhm.
And that's just the behind the scenes of what we did at the park here in Jacksonville and where we filmed the balloons.
Da-
She,
Damn, those are
I
some.
had her walking up the hill and everything, and she did such an awesome, amazing job. Her name is McKenna, and she's been modeling for me for a couple years now. And all my models work for free. They work for Trade for Photo, and it's just an amazing experience to be able to, call somebody up and be like, "Hey, I got a photo shoot this week. What are you doing?" Like it's just amazing. And the photographer model meetup group really put that together for me.
Man, this is amazing. And those are some big ass balloons. Where'd you get those? Did you have
I got them
to?
off Amazon, and the most expensive thing was filling them up. So yeah, with the helium, it was the most expensive thing. It's like $12 a balloon.
Damn.
I know.
But it makes for an amazing photo shoot, so
Yes,
um
really did.
like some people might say that AI is kind of like cheating. But then like I was thinking like, like with what is that? What is that app that people would use back in the day to like scrub things out? Photoshop.
Oh
People
yeah,
use
that's what we still use.
Photoshop is kind of like cheating as well, but like a lot of magazines, they use it all the time. So like I don't know, like in my personal opinion, where I can see where AI can be a little bit too much. What I'm seeing here in your example is that the photography is not the photography isn't being hijacked by AI, but instead it is collaborating with it. I don't know, like, would you agree with that?
Yes, that makes perfect sense. It is. It's collaborating with it. When I take a photo, let's find another one. I know I have another one. Like these. Like this is the original photo of the girl in the picture frame, and this is what AI can do. It's just so amazing.
Dang.
I mean, she looks exactly like herself. And it's gotten that good that we can make our photos into these amazing videos. And I don't sit there and generate photography and call it my own. Like, I'm not capable of doing that anymore after creating and being taught to create the way I create in depth and with the camera in hard reality. You know what I'm saying? But this taking my hard work and making it come to life, it's just so amazing to me. I love it. And that's an amazing thing that AI can really do.
Well, can you tell us about these pictures that we're seeing here? I mean, they're freaking
Oh, these are
awesome.
just for fun. I didn't even do these for school. A group of us got together with some models, and we just got together with it was like five photographers and about 6 or 7 models, and we went out into this haunted mansion of Maysville, and we took a crazy photo shoot. Look what I got from it. It turned out so good. And
Wow.
this is my new series called Darkness Unveiled, which I'm submitting for my midpoint review.
Interesting title. Please tell us more.
Well, the title spun from this project called Wonderment Enchanted Light. So I went from Wonderment Enchanted Light to working with fire to Darkness Unveiled for next semester, which is this semester. And I just wanted to do something different, and the LED lights, I felt like the project was complete, so I just started in a different direction and wanted to see where this would take me as far as developing a project for 3 years.
Wow. So hold on, I'm gonna take a sip of coffee. I saw you taking a sip. I'm gonna take a quick sip.
Okay. But
Um,
yeah, all these models, they work for free and they're just the most amazing people. And, my website on Facebook just brings us all together. And even if I can't find something that a specific model can do on the website, I post in Facebook groups and just find regular people to post for me in these amazing photographs. And
do you see yourself one day evolving and making your own videos?
There's a couple documentaries that I do want to make. I'm kind of keeping them under wraps right now, but I want to eventually be a filmmaker and get into filming documentaries. As far as being able to make AI videos, I'm not sure if I could. I'm not sure how they do it if it wasn't AI. I haven't delved into video that much, but this photo was I added the snake and the underwater triangle, the what is that called?
A mountain? No, no.
Yeah, the underwater mountain. I added the snake in the underwater mountain, and that was AI. And then we had a piece of mylar under here, and it was just reflecting the light and reflecting her hands and everything. And it was a dry underwater shoot. And I made it look like it was underwater, but the one in the middle really was underwater. So I do real underwater photography, but I also learned how to do dry underwater photography for when I couldn't be under the water. And this was an AI video I made out of that. And you just make the snake come to life. It's just so amazing. But I honestly will only use AI to enhance what I do personally. Like
Yeah.
nobody created that. I created that with the help of AI.
Well, okay. So with that image, she is underwater, right?
No, this one with the video.
Yeah, she's not.
No, she's not underwater in this image. And this one,
Uh-huh.
she's oh man, there's another video. I didn't put it in here of behind the scenes of her doing the Mylar shoot, but I don't think I can get it up there by now, but yeah. I have the video of behind the scenes for the Mylar shoot, but I forgot to put it in there.
But that middle one is underwater.
The middle one is underwater, yes.
And
Yes,
you don't go underwater.
I do go underwater.
Oh, you do go underwater.
Yeah, for this middle one, I was underwater, and it's me and the model. We actually go down at the same time, and I use my Rebel. I just use a regular Canon Rebel in an underwater case. It's about $300. And I've learned recently that those underwater cases only last one time because I'm actually filming in salt water in these pools, and the salt corrodes the bags, so I can't use them for next year. It
Mm.
really sucks, but it's worth it sometimes.
Are you like holding your breath the whole time or
Yeah, I'm not trained in scuba diving. So I just go under, hold my breath. Me and the models, she was under there holding her breath too, just posing like that. And she's a trained mermaid. Like these mermaids, they get trained, they get licensed. And this is like the fifth mermaid that I've been able to photograph under the water physically.
so with the picture, like the image of the girl in the black, how are you able to get that effect to make it look like she's underwater?
This is Mylar. It's a reflective, kind of like paper that's like
Mm.
tinfoil, but it's like reflective like tinfoil, but it's thicker. And I put Mylar above her where her hands are showing the reflection to make it look like she's in a pool. And then in Photoshop, I added like you see in this photo, all the light. I added some light in
Mhm.
Photoshop around her so it looked like she was underwater. And then I added the underwater cave and the snake.
Wow, that's really good. That is super
Thank
good.
you.
That is super neat.
Thank you. Yes.
Oh,
I really just I like the original underwater photos. I like them both. Both processes are really neat to explore. But there's something about actually being under the water and taking photos, and then on my SD card they're blurry and mushy, and then I take them in the Photoshop, sharpen them up to the point where I can get, this photo right here. I wish I had the before and after picture before I edit it and after I edit it, because there's a big difference. When you go under the water, you can't see anything, and it's just, you feel like you don't get anything when you first see that SD card. But when you hit that clear button on Photoshop, it makes a big difference. And I don't find Photoshop as cheating, as well as it's more of an enhancement
mhm.
to the photos if you know how to use it right. But any way you edit a photo could be seen as cheating. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But it's a helpful tool. I mean,
Yes, it's definitely needed in the photography business. And that's what a lot of the editing tools stemmed from, is Photoshop, because as I'm learning all these buttons and what they do, I'm going to different programs and picking up the programs really fast, like in minutes, because I know Photoshop so well and it's so similar.
and well, thank you for. Are there any more slides you wanted to show us?
I think I showed you all of them. Yeah, I think I showed all of them that I have up here. This is my magazine where I interview artists from all over the world. It's called Incipient Thonic, and it's just a really cool thing I've been doing with my ads, using AI to create these videos out of my photos and ads that I do. It's just amazing.
And that's all AI right there.
Uh,
That's all AI.
yeah, that's a video out of my ad. I created the ad, like the pictures. I
Yeah,
created the actual ad with the words and stuff, and then the AI made the girl in the background come to life.
that's crazy.
I know.
In a good way.
Yes.
But the magazine, this is a real magazine, or is this just
Yes. This is a digital and print version magazine. And I'm trying to eventually open an online exhibition space where I feature artists from around the world, their work on, like Lens Scratch will have egg calls for entries and stuff. Eventually I want to get on there and, you know, exhibit artists, work, be a curator. That's my dream.
so for like the artists, are you looking mostly like for a photographer or in general as well?
All artists, like artists, that dancers, tattoo artists, AI artists. We're looking for photographers. I do anybody that wants to share their story right now. I interview about 10 to 12 people per magazine.
Okay, and do you see your magazine evolving into a podcast?
I don't know. This is my first experience I've had with a podcast. I really like it.
This right now, what we're doing?
Yes.
How you like it so far?
I really like it. I love it. I think it's amazing. But not everybody is comfortable on camera, I just am. A lot of people are though, but a lot of people like the magazine style. They really like that. And then we do an interview over email. We back and forth the emails.
And like one way how I started before I even did this was actually some years ago I went to Austin because right now I'm in San Antonio. I went to Austin and I just wanted to like get to know people. And I was writing blogs, but I would just go up to people and was like, "Hey, can I interview you?" And they're like, "Sure, all right." So then I just like talk to them. But like you were saying, not all are comfortable with like the either the video format or the audio format. But still, like people, there are a lot of people who are very open to sharing their stories.
Yes, yes, and I love that. And I love hearing everybody's stories, especially Sudeshna Day. She's actually from India. And then we got Nick Town is from California, and it's just two different parts of the world. It's so interesting to see, a choreographer from India and put it together with, Amy Ray from Jacksonville or Liberty from Jacksonville, just like it's go big or go home.
Yeah. And so, for those who might be interested, where can they go to find your magazine?
Well, my website or my magazine, the magazine doesn't have a website right now. We've only published one edition, and you can find it on Facebook called Incipient Thonic Magazine. um, on Facebook. We definitely have a Facebook, and we have threads, and we have IC Mag 2026 on Instagram and threads. So I forgot about the magazine. But also you can go to ckimages.slickpic.com, and that's slickpic.com. And that's my website for my graduate studies. And then CK Images Jax JAXNC. And that's my Instagram and my threads for my personal photography page.
Thank you so much for sharing your creative journey and the work that you've done. You're the first guest I've had to do like a little presentation, PowerPoint presentation. That was super cool. And to wrap this episode up, there's a question that I ask all of my guests, and that is for you, why is creativity so important?
Like I said in the beginning, creativity is a part of human existence. And if we weren't creating, we wouldn't be here. So it's so important to get your thoughts, feelings, and emotions out in a positive way. And that's what creativity helps humans do as a whole. And I love it. I love it.
Awesome. I had such a pleasure having you on the podcast and hearing all about, not only photography, but a little bit behind the scenes, as well as the safe use of tools like Photoshop and AI. And I found it very fascinating.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. And it was so much fun.
So thank you for being a guest on the podcast. And to the audience, I wanted to say thank you for tuning in. If you've enjoyed this episode, please feel free to leave a review, hopefully a positive review, over on Spotify. That always helps me out. And feel free to comment. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and share so that other people may also discover the cool creativity of today's guest. And if you'd like to help me out a little bit more, you can do so. I can always use a bit of help. And you can do so by buying me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/truth7. All of your contribution helps me to keep the podcast going and helps me to pay for simple things like paying the bills and to keep this podcast going. So thank you to the audience, and thank you, Crystal, for being a guest on the podcast.
Thank you for having me. And you have a blessed day.